Hello friends, welcome back to my channel, Diamonds and Washi. This is Katie and I am back with my third and final for now unboxing of one of Distracted by Diamonds' new releases. So, I mean, by this point you guys know the drill with, these stickers mean Distracted by Diamonds. If you haven't already, feel free to check out the two other unboxings I've shared this week. Some really, really cute kits that I cannot wait to get to. How are you guys doing today? Have you, now that the new releases have been live for a week, have you had the chance to, hold on. Oh, okay. A little squished. Okay. Now that the new releases have been live for a week, have you had the chance to get your hands on any of them? And if so, which ones? This is from the fabulous Geneva Bowers, and this one is called The Night, of the KNIGHT variety. So I have a bit of a soft spot for Geneva Bowers artwork, and I'm still just so thrilled that Robin at Distracted by Diamonds has been working with her to bring diamond painting kits to us, because I feel like her artwork lends itself just really, really beautifully to diamond painting. And she has been very popular. I feel like her kits are the ones that go the fastest when Robin restocks. So the box is a little squished and kind of at a weird angle, but I am going to be shocked if the canvas is not still in pristine condition. But let's take a look. Something was shuffling around in there. Okay, it's a little squished at the bottom. And if you aren't familiar with Distracted by Diamonds, I'm getting ahead of myself because I'm feeling like, oh, we've done this a few times. This is the box that they come in. This is their logo. If you've purchased from Distracted by Diamonds in the past, it's possible that you've gotten one of their older kits that hasn't seen one of their revamps. And so if it's been a while since you've tried them, I highly recommend giving them another try. We have drills. And then, ooh, I just got a whiff of something. Oh, maybe it was just, anyway. You ready? I am so excited to see her. Let me turn her sideways so you can see, or at least an angle. Look at her. Oh my goodness. Look at that. Oh, she is beautiful. Okay, it's really bent here at the bottom, but it's just the corner, so I'm sure it'll be fine. Okay, let me take a quick look and show you guys. So you do get a very basic toolkit that comes with a pen, pink wax, and a white boat. Very, very basic, which is fine. I almost feel like if you've managed to get your hands on one of these kits, you probably also have a very large stash of cool toolkits, just like I do. Right? Okay. So as always, we have our inventory sheet, and I always love to point out how Robin has included information about what Distracted by Diamonds prioritizes and makes a priority of with their kits, which is one of the reasons that you will hear me say time and time again that they're one of my absolute favorite companies to support. They're all about trying to bring more diversity and just new things to the diamond painting community, which I love. And they're huge advocates for legally licensing their artwork and supporting artists, and also just bringing artists to us that we might otherwise not get the chance to see diamond paintings from. So I love, love, love that. So as I mentioned, the name of this piece is The Night. It's from Geneva Bowers, the fabulous, fabulous artist, and 2020, obviously, this year. And if you're watching this from the future, that means we made it through this year. It's almost over. It's almost over. Okay. 40 colors, which is pretty, is often seems just standard for their kits now. Gives usually really nice rendering. This is a square kit, And with the color list, you get like the numbers 1 through 40, the symbols they use, and then your DMC codes, which are always nice to have. So let's take a look at the canvas itself. So as I mentioned when I started to unroll it, they do have branding at the top, Distracted by Diamonds. You come over here to the top right, a little wrinkle. Again, not worried about it. We have a thumbnail of the artwork. You can see with the glare. And this is 62 by 76 centimeters. This model number you see here will also be on the bag of drills. So if you store your canvas separately from your drills, it's easy enough to match them up later. But I mean, really, take a look at this. All you're gonna have to do is look for all the yellow, right? Here is the first color list and schematic on the side. Again, lists the numbers themselves, the symbol, and the DMC code all the way down. There is another schematic over on the bottom left, which is nice for a larger canvas like this. And then at the bottom, as always, they're extremely transparent and upfront about the fact that they license their artwork and they work closely with artists. And so there's all that info, and then their guarantees as well. I have found that Robin has excellent customer service. So if you ever have any trouble with the kit you've gotten from them, she is just an Etsy message away, and she is very eager to respond and take care of any problems that people are having. So this is a poured glue canvas, which means that there's either poured glue or double-sided adhesive, or in the rare instance, mounted glue. This is poured glue, which is usually the case when you see a clear cover like this, which means it's typically a really high quality and a little easier to work with than, in my opinion, than in double-sided adhesive. Let's take a look at what symbols we're working with here with all these yellows. So down here, those F's are showing up clearer on camera than they are for me, but they are easily distinguished enough. Got a good smattering of alphanumeric. Okay, these might trip me up a little bit. These are kind of close. We have here we have an 8 and then a P, both on a teal background. But again, at least, even without a light pad, just now looking at it, I'm not mixing them up. I just noticed these are a little similar. I have been generally just very happy with the symbol clarity and even just the symbol choices they've made with their kits recently. So yeah, even down here with these dark blue backgrounds that are similar, they're very easy to tell apart the various symbols from what I can tell. I think this is going to kind of just be a mirror of the other side. Let's move up a little bit. Look at that butterfly there on the hilt of the sword. Oh, that's going to be so pretty. Sorry to bump you there. And I am very, very anxious to get a look at the colors that have been chosen for her skin tone. I have been given a heads up from one of my friends over on Instagram. We'll get to that here in a minute when we get to the drills. Because at least on the canvas, that is red. Red, red, red. So far though, we're just talking about symbols. And again, these all are looking very, very clear to me. Look at her hair. Look how glorious that is. Oh my gosh. I love that. Love it, love it, love it. Okay, so symbols look good. I did see a spot where it looks like the cover pulled away from the poured glue just a little bit, and so I've been doing this on my kits recently just to help take care of any creases like that. One of the nice things about poured glue is, is that showing? Yeah, right there. You can see that right here. That's just a spot where the plastic cover, as I said, shifted away from the glue. It's not actually a river in the glue itself. It's still quite sticky. The adhesive is still totally flat on the canvas, and it's very forgiving. Like it just probably just happened in transit when it got rolled up. If you run into an issue like that, just pull back the plastic cover halfway one direction, and then slowly work it back down. It will kind of fill in those gaps. Do this on a flat surface, which actually my table has a lot of texture. It's not perfectly flat, but this will still do the trick. And roll it all the way down. And that also has the added benefit of helping your canvas lay flat from when it was rolled up in transit. So this, like I said, this is something I just try to do with most of my kits. Poured glue anyway. And I also just want to mention, like I usually do when I'm doing this on my canvases and unboxings, if you were to do this yourself, I highly recommend that you do not pull the plastic cover all the way off. It is tricky to get back on neatly, and also only one side of the plastic cover is safe to go back on the canvas. The opposite side will stick to it and you'll have a really hard time. So if you were to accidentally pull your plastic cover all the way off and you aren't sure which side is supposed to go back down, test it on a small corner of the canvas and pull it back. Make sure it pulls back easily, and then you know you're safe. Let me flip this over. We're going to look at the drills. The canvas quality on these is really nice. They do serge the edges so it's not going to fray, and it just feels, it's not like super soft, but it feels like it's a quality material. It's going to hold up well. If you were to frame and hang this, it's going to just stay nice and flat, and it's going to look neat, I guess. Okay, as I mentioned, the model number that was at the top left schematic of the canvas matches this number on the bag. So, like I said, if you store your drills separately from your canvases, that makes it easy to find it again. You can just match it. DBDS, Distracted by Diamonds. All right, I'm gonna open this up. If you are not a fan of the crinkling sound, just mute here until you see me with all the drills out in a nice hot mess. All right. Okay, I see a couple of stray drills in the package here, but that's okay. Okay, let's take a look at these colors. So these are squares, and ooh, look at that olive green, 732. I always like to take a close look at my squares to make sure that we don't have lots of little tabs hanging off the sides or concave bottoms. As I've said before, I feel like the quality has really gone up quite a bit with Distracted by Diamonds kits recently. There's a little bit of trash in there, but not much. And I have not run into trouble with their drill quality recently. As you can see, they do put their, they're putting, at least in this case, their drills are already pre-bagged. So if you want to work out of the bags, that's convenient for you. I've been having a heck of a time with static lately, and so I am not a big fan of the plastic bags right now. Okay, I am not excited to see this red. I'll get into it in a minute. I'm going to set that aside because I want to match it with the symbol on the canvas. Like I said, I'll explain why here in a minute. Kind of a buttery yellow, navy blue, peachy peach. This is like I said, this is not typically a color palette I would gravitate towards, but I love, love, love artwork that is so very clearly like showing strong women. And some of my favorite books growing up, oh, I love that red. I read a lot of like fantasy genre novels, and like the strong female protagonist, you know, the knight in shining armor, except she's a woman. I really, really loved that. That's red too. Okay, we're gonna set those aside. And so whenever I see things like this, or if I dare mention another company in this unboxing, one of DIY Moonshop's releases last month, Dark Lilith, is also like a woman with a sword just looking like she's ready to kick butt and take some names. Like, I love that. I love that so much. So I initially resisted this one. Look at that olive green. I like that. I initially resisted this one and then like kept telling my friends, like, I keep regretting not getting this one. And so it did not take long before I snatched her up. That's red too. You guys, I'm not excited to see that red because that's going to be in her skin tone. Yeah, I'll get to that in a minute. Let's look at the rest of the drills. Green, purple. Where's that purple? Maybe in the butterfly? That's pretty. Big old bag of 3371. It's like a brown. Let's take a look at this drill quality a little closer. These look good. Gray, 645. More of these peaches. Lots of like straggler drills outside of these Ziploc bags. Huh. 829. Browns and yellows. I wonder if there will be a lot of color blocking. I didn't take a super close, I wasn't really paying attention. I didn't take a super close look when we first looked at the canvas. 310. They almost look dusty, but I think that's just the texture on the outside of the bag. Look at that. Little straggler yellow drill. And these browns. Okay. All right, let me flip this back over and I want to see where these reds are and I will let you guys know what's going on in my head with that. So, okay. So we have, yeah, there's nowhere else these are going to be. Okay. So this bright red 817 is the symbol M and 919 is the symbol T, M, and T. And 815 is that swirl. Okay. M and T. Yep, that's in her face. So here's the thing. And I am only aware of this because of the times I've heard Mrs. Coffee over at Mrs. Crochet and Coffee on her channel has mentioned before that a common problem that diamond painting companies have with rendering, or I guess it's not the companies themselves necessarily, it's whatever software is rendering artwork, often has a time with darker skin tones. And often what happens is they render it in shades of red and gives it really a red hue. And if you look at the original artwork, I can see some of that hue in there. Like I could see the 919 in there, but this I am not crazy about. So 817, as I mentioned, is the symbol M. And if you take a look at her face and hands, so here's her hands, they're like almost a majority symbol M. Same with her face, like it's a whole lot of that symbol M, like just heavily confettied with T. So again, this is something that, like, as a person that is not a person of color, that I might not necessarily have noticed, but it's something I'm cognizant of because I've heard Mrs. Coffee mention it so often. And you know, this is the first time I've seen Distracted by Diamonds have this have darker skin tones rendered in shades of red. I've worked on Dawn, which is by this same artist, and they were shades of brown. It was absolutely beautiful. And I have a couple other kits like Plant Witch and Space Letterman 2, and I don't remember seeing these shades of red in them. So thank you again over to my friend Randy on Instagram, who had messaged me, and she got the same kit and she was looking at the colors and she's like, Katie, you got to take a look at this. Like, they rendered the skin in like this bright red. So I am going to shoot just a very polite message over to Robin just to let her know. And specifically just mentioning to her, like, this is something I've seen Mrs. Coffee mention, and it's a common mistake to be made, and I can understand why that would happen just because of the way that the artwork is lit. But I know for me, I'm not going to use this color on this canvas. I'm going to kind of look at the colors that I do have, like the 919, and I'm going to try to find another shade of brown that would look good with this color and with the rest of the canvas. And maybe even just see if Robin has any other thoughts on it, because again, I'm not going to like come at her like I'm attacking her or anything like that. I just want to let her know, because I don't know if this is something she's necessarily aware of. And just, I'd like to let her know that this is something that is on other people's radar and is important when we're bringing more diversity to diamond painting and canvases. Now, yes, I understand that like once this is kind of confettied together, like it's rendered, that it probably would tone down the red, but this just seems like, to me, just seems like a little much. So I'd be curious to hear what your thoughts are. If this is something that you've seen or run into before. And I mean, even this 815 is the symbol that's like in her nose and around her eyes, and it has very much a red tint. Again, this one isn't as bad, but I don't know. I don't know if it quite works for the artwork or not. So again, I'd love to hear your thoughts, particularly if you are a person of color. If you have, strong feelings either way about this. And like I said, I'm going to shoot a polite message over to Robin just to let her know what I had noticed with this. But that aside, this kit looks really, really beautiful. And I am so excited to see how it all comes together with all of these yellows. And I love just the subtle touches on it, like her armor up here, which I used to know the names of the different pieces of armor, but that's gone. I think these are Van braces. Is this a pauldron? And then I like the butterfly here on the sword hilt. That's awesome. So I will definitely link Robin's shop below. If you're not familiar with Distracted by Diamonds, you've heard me mention Robin's name a million times now in this video. It's owned by Robin, who also owns the shop Patty Wax. They're the same shop on Etsy, but it's easiest to search for it by the name Patty Wax, because I believe that's the name of it. I'll also link it in the description below. She restocks twice a day. Check her shop announcements for the exact shop times. She restocks twice a day, except for Wednesdays, which they take off to make sure they're able to stay on top of their processing and shipping times, which is a super quick turnaround. Like I said, their customer service is fantastic. And I always like to remind you guys that Robin is a one-woman show. She does have help from Ben and some other people around her that help with putting together artwork. But the reason that you see such limited stock available in her restocks is because they're only stocking as much as they can turn around promptly and that they feel that they can handle processing. They're a very small business. Please be as gracious as you can. I know it can be frustrating to not get your hands on the kits that you're hoping for right away, but don't give up. Just be on the shop right around those restock times, hitting that refresh button, and kits like these go in seconds. So be ready to hit, like if you see it pop up, you got to jump on and hit that buy button. So for what it's worth, if it's helpful for you, feel free to follow me over on Instagram. I do try to post in my stories once or twice a day when I see the restocks start to go live. So you can follow me along over there if you like. Also, please let me know if you have snagged one of the new Distracted by Diamonds kits and if you're working on it. I'd love to follow along with your progress, and because I only have time to do 1 or 2 kits at a time, and I wish I had time to do all of them at once because they're so gorgeous. But anyway, I think that's it for this video. Let me know if you have any questions about this kit or just in general below. I try to get back to comments as quickly as I can, as much as my crazy little tiny humans let me. If this video is helpful for you, please give it a thumbs up. If, like I said, I try to get to comments when I can. Oh, and feel free to hit the subscribe button and the bell to be notified whenever I share videos, which is not even remotely on a schedule because, as I said, I have 2 little humans running around and I get to record once they go to bed at night. So thank you all so much for being here. I hope you're having a great week, and I will catch you next time. Bye, friends.